Hello and welcome all dear students to this new video tutorial in which we will discuss conditional statements in Python part 3. We have already discussed the conditional statements in tutorial number 6 and 7 and this video is in continuation with those videos. So till date we have discussed the following 7 tutorials whose links are given below in the description. You can go through them. Now in this video, first of all we will discuss the homework given in tutorial 7. Means in the previous video tutorial I have given you some homework. So we will discuss that homework. Then we will talk about if else, nested if else statement. And then we will discuss what is Python character set. What is Python character set? Now let us quickly recap what we have studied so far in this. See, we have discussed that there are three types of programming constructs. Means there are three ways to write a program. Number one is sequential. In this we have find the sum of two numbers. Then we have calculated the area of circle. Rectangle. Then we have calculated simple interest. So such types of programs comes into sequential programming, where each and every statement is executed one after another. Then comes selective construct. In this, the statements are executed based on condition test. If condition is true, then one set of statements are executed, and if condition is false, then other set of statements are executed. In this selective construct of three types. First is if else statement. Second is if elif. So if you recall, if else is used to check only one condition. If elif is used to check multiple conditions. And third in that series is nested if else that we will discuss today. Then we have discussed how to combine two or more conditions after if or elif. And then we have discussed the checking the range of values using AND operator, and on this we have also discussed the programs. So this all we have studied till date in 7 tutorials. So before watching this tutorial, it is requested to all of you to go through these 7 video tutorials, then only you can understand this tutorial more clearly. Clear? So let's move on to the first topic of this tutorial, homework given in tutorial 7. The first question was input any single alphabet and check whether it is a vowel or a consonant. Okay, so Let's open IDLE. Open the previous window or open new window. I am opening the previous program. I will make changes in that program only. Now this is my new programming, new file. Here I will be writing the program. Input any single alphabet and check whether it is a vowel or a consonant. So suppose x equal to input. Now no need to use int. We will not write like this, int and then input, because here the input is in the form of alphabet. Okay, so we will directly write x equal to input means string form. Enter single alphabet. This alphabet will be stored in x. Clear? This alphabet will be stored in x. Now what you have to do? You have to check whether it is a vowel or a consonant. Now as you all know, there are 5 vowels A, E, I, O, U, and the rest are consonants. So you can check in a single line if x equal to A or x equal to E or x equal to I or x equal to O or x equal to U. Now there is some logical error in this program. Here x is the name of variable you are comparing, whose value you are comparing, and A, E, I, O, U are the vowels. So vowels are the values. So this value should be given within single or double quote. So first mistake what you have done is a very common mistake. Always give character or string values in within single or double quotes. So first error is clear. So if x equal to A or x equal to E or x equal to I or x equal to O or x equal to U, it means it is a vowel, else print it is a consonant. So hope most of you must be able to do this program. If not, then put more efforts, because programming is tough, but it is very interesting. It is not like other optional subjects in which you have to only learn, but in this you must possess the mathematical and logical ability also. Okay, so is that clear? Now I am running this program. This is my program window. Now I am running this program. This is the output window. Now enter any single alphabet Q. Now Q is a consonant. Clear? Again run the program. Z, A, suppose A is a vowel. So the outputs are correct. Single alphabet Z, it is a consonant. So so the point to be noted is, here you are combining 5 conditions after if using OR operator. If I write AND in place of OR, then this program will be incorrect. It means ये पांचों हो तब वॉवल होगा. ये अल्फाबेट या तो ए हो सकता है या ई हो सकता है, या तो या मीन्स और. It can be either A or it can be either E or it can be either I or O or U. तो यहाँ पे और लगेगा. So here you are combining 5 conditions after if using OR operator. Now there is shortcut for this. So first note down this program. Now this program have two. So while noting down the answer, you can write method 1 using, see, I have made it comment. Now, it's, likewise in HTML also you can insert your comments. Okay, so similarly in Python also you can write some statement and make it as comment. And how can you do it? By putting slash at the beginning of the line. It will make it comment, means this line will not be executed by the Python interpreter. So using OR operator. Now the second method is method 2. This is very useful method which I am telling you. This is only in Python, not in C++. Using in operator. This will shorten your program. Using in operator. Now see, again I am writing the whole program. First I am taking the input. Now you can write in one line, if x in, and within single or double quotes a, e, I, o, u. It will compare the value of x with a, e, I, o, u one by one. So here in can be used in place of or. In can be used in place of or, but not in place of and. So if x in AEIOU, it means if the value of x is either a or e or I or o or u, then print vowel, else print, you have to write it in its lowercase, consonant. So you should know both the methods, because in output questions any method can be asked. So you should know the working of or also, and you should know the working of in also. This in you will be using frequently in the coming chapters and topics. So if x in a, e, I, o, u, it means print vowel or print consonant. Now if I run this program, this code will be also be executed and this code will also be executed. So what I am doing, I am making this all the lines as comments. So select these lines using your mouse and then go to format and select comment out reason. I will tell you once again, if you want to comment out multiple lines together in Python, ideally select those lines using your mouse, go to format and click on comment out reason. These all lines will become comment. Now run it program. Now method 2 will run. Again I am running the program. New window, new program, new output window. Now see, enter single alphabet A, vowel. Again run the program, enter single alphabet Z, consonant. See, it is working fine. So there are two ways to check vowel or not. Either you can combine conditions after if using or you can use in. Here you don't have to combine multiple conditions. So this is the shortcut method of the above. I think it is clear. Okay. Now let's move on to the second program. The second program was write a program to input basic salary of an employee and calculate TA, DA, HRA and net salary as per the criteria given below. Wait a minute. As per the criteria given below. Now, an employee of an organization gets basic salary, and along with basic salary, he gets several allowances. For example, traveling allowance, DNS allowance, housing rent allowance. So, when all these are added, it becomes net salary. And of course, if PF is deducted, if income tax is deducted, If PF he is getting, then it is added. If income tax is deducted, it will be. So I am not discussing that part in this question. Now criteria is basic salary, TA in percent, DA in percent, HRA in percent. The first condition was if it is above 10,000 basic salary, so TA will be 75% of basic, DA will be 50% of basic, HRA will be 40% of basic. If it is 8,000 to 10,000, then 50, 40, 30. If it is between 5,000 to 7,999, or we can say like this also, if it is 8,000 to 9,999. Now net salary will be calculated as the sum of basic plus TA plus DA plus HRA. Okay, so let's do this program. Now open program window. First of all, what you have to take input? You have to take input of basic salary and nothing else. All other allowances will be calculated as per the chart given, TA, DA, HRA. So in your program you will take basic salary, it can be in points. So take meaningful names, basic equal to float, input, float we are taking because the basic salary can be in point also. So float input, enter basic cell. Now first, then take some variables, TA equal to 0, DA equal to 0, HRA equal to 0, and net cell equal to 0. So here I have taken meaningful names instead of A, B, C, D. So this is a good programming practice to take meaningful names so that examiner can understand your logic more easily. So basic, TA, DA, HRA and net salary. Okay. Now the first condition is if basic above greater than 10,000, then TA will be 75%, then 50, then 40. Now 75% you can write like this also. Don't write like this, 75 upon 100 into basic. Because what happens, 75 is also an integer and 100 is also an integer. So its output will be 0.75. See, when you divide 7500, it will be 0.75. Okay. So you can do it like this also, 75 upon 100. Yes, in Python you can do it. 75 upon 100 into basic. TA equal to 50 upon 100 into basic, and HRA equal to 40 upon 100 into basic. Is that clear? Elif. Second condition is if basic greater than equal to 10,000 and condition, मैं बताया था आप रेंज चेकिंग कैसे कर सकते हो यूजिंग एंड. if basic greater than equal to 10,000 and basic less than, sorry, it is 8,000, 8,000 and basic less than 10,000. Now TA will be 50, 40 and 30. You can convert 50 upon 100 as 0.50 into basic, DA 0.40 into basic, HRA equal to 0.3 into basic. You can write like this also. If basic greater than equal to 5,000 and basic less than 8,000, TA will be zero point 0.3 into basic, DA will be zero point 0.2 into basic, and HRA will be zero point 0.1 into basic. So you can either write it in fractional form 75 upon 100, 50 upon 100, or you can write in decimal form. Now the last will be else. Else means if it is below 5000, it means TA will be 0, DA will be 0. Nil means 0. You will not write nil. This is incorrect way, because nil is a word and TA is a numeric variable. So you will write 0. Now after if else if, leave one line and write net cell equal to basic plus TA plus DA plus HRA. Is it clear? See, this is the entire program. Now you can print TA equal to comma TA comma DA equal to comma DA comma HRA equal to HRA, and then you can print net salary equal to net cell in a single line. So this is your program. So let's discuss line by line. First you have taken input of basic salary, क्योंकि प्रोग्राम कह रहा है कि बेसिक इनपुट कराइए. Then take some variables with name TA, DA, HRA. इनकी initial value कर दिए 0. Then net cell is also 0. Now keep meaningful names for the variables. Now first condition was कि अगर basic 10,000 से ज़्यादा है, so TA will be 75% of basic. तो 75% you will write as 75 upon 100 into basic, 50 upon 100 into basic, then 40 upon 100 into basic. Either you can write like this in this way, or you can write in this way. Now second condition was if basic greater than equal to 8,000 and 10,000. तो जब रेंज चेकिंग करते हैं तो एंड यूज करते हैं. Here see 8,000 included but 10,000 is not included. Now you can write in point also 0.50, 0.40, 0.30. Now run this program. Enter basic salary. Now basic salary suppose 10,000, suppose 11,000. Now see, the 75% of 11,000 is 8250. Then DA is this much, HRA is this much, and net salary is this much. Now again run the program. Now basic salary is suppose 4,000. Now see, TA, DA, HRA is 0, so net salary will be 4,000 only. Now salary is suppose 5,000, or I am giving 8,000 exact. So this condition will be true. Now 50% of 8,000 will be CTS for 4,000, DA 3,200, HRA 2,400, net salary is 17,600. So in this way you can solve range checking questions. So this program was basically based on the checking of range of values that we have discussed in the previous tutorial. Now third is also a very good program. Write a program which asks the user to input his age and gender. Now gender should be given input either as M or F. Not in the form of word. Male female नहीं देना है, या तो M लिखिए या F लिखिए. Now you have to determine whether he or she is eligible for marriage or not. Now the criteria is if a person is male and his age is 21 or above, then only he is eligible for marriage. And if a person is female and her age is greater than equal to 18, then only she is eligible for marriage, else not. Now your program should display the appropriate message. Okay. Now what you will do? Open Python IDE. I am closing this output window. Now this is Python IDE. Here I am deleting this program. So have you all noted down this program? You can pause this screen and you can note down this program. Here this will be elif. Okay. Now I am deleting this program. Now you have to take input of age and gender. So age equal to int input enter age, gender equal to input. Now gender is taken means taken input in the form of character means alphabet, so you will use input directly. Enter gender as M or F. Clear? Now the first condition is if age greater than equal to 21 and gender equal to M. Now see, the first condition was if the person is male means gender is equal to M. Now see here I am using double equal to because we are checking equality here. Equality check कर रहे हैं और M को single quotes में क्यों दिया? Because M is a value. Gender is the variable and M is the value. So string value should be given, alphabet or string should be given within single or double quotes in Python. And age means ये दोनों सही हैं. Then print eligible for marriage. Elif age greater than equal to 18 and gender equal to F. Print eligible for marriage. Else print not eligible for marriage. See, very simple program. So the first condition was if the person is male and age is greater than or equal to 21, then only he is eligible for marriage. The second one was if the person is female and her age is greater than equal to 18, then only she is eligible for marriage. So I can write he is eligible for marriage, she is eligible for marriage. Here you can write he or she is not eligible for marriage, or I can write only not eligible for marriage. Now let's run this program. This is the output window. This is the program window. Now age is 21 and gender is M. He is eligible for marriage. So first I am checking for eligibility. Now age is 19 and gender is female. She is eligible for marriage. Now I am checking if age is suppose 19 and gender is male. Now see, not eligible for marriage. Now here I am entering age as 19 and gender as M or F. So M I am writing. Now male's age should be greater than equal to 21. So not eligible for marriage. Again I am running this program. This is the output window. Now age is 17 and female, not eligible for marriage. Okay, run it again. Enter age suppose 27 and she is female, eligible for marriage. So the program is giving correct output for all the possible inputs. So your program is correct only if it is giving correct output for all the possible inputs. Then only. If it is only partially correct, then program will be treated wrong. You will not get full marks. Okay. Now let's discuss the today's topic, nested if else statement. Now what is the meaning of nested? See, till now you have written like this. In this, suppose if I have written like this, if age greater than equal to 21, and within if I have written another if gender equal to male, then print eligible, else print not eligible. So this is another way of writing the same program. Here this is outer condition. Here this is inner condition. Now inner condition will be executed, will be checked only if outer condition is true. तो अगर आउटर ट्रू है तो इनर चेक होगी, अगर इनर ट्रू है तो प्रिंट एलिजिबल होगा, नहीं तो नॉट एलिजिबल. दिस इज नोन एज नेस्टिंग ऑफ इफ एल्स, which means when you write one if else inside another if or else or elif, it is known as nesting. What is nesting of if else? If you write one if else inside another if or else or elif, so it is known as nesting or if else, and there is no standard syntax for it. It can take several forms. For example, nested if else means writing one if else statement within another if else statement. It can take the following forms. Now see how. Now if you have given outer condition, if it is true, then you have given inner condition. If inner condition is true, then this block will be executed, otherwise else block will be executed. Now suppose this condition is false, then it will check this condition. If it is true, then this is executed, and if this is false, then else is executed. So either it can take this form or it can take this form. See here, if के अंदर if चेक किया, now if else, now else के अंदर भी आपने if else चेक किया है. So it is only up to the programmer, completely up to the program, how it can use nested if else. So there is no standard syntax for using nested if else. So here I am, see here I am, what I am doing, let me erase this portion. See, in the first form, outer condition is checked. If outer condition is checked, then inner condition is checked. If inner is also true, then if block is executed. If inner is false, then else block is executed. If outer is false, then elif is checked. If elif is true, then this part is executed, and if it is false, then this part is executed. Okay. Now in second, outer condition checked. अगर ये true है तो inner condition check हुई, अगर true है तो inner हुआ, और अगर ये false है तो else part execute हुआ. अगर outer ही false है तो else part में है, अगर if true है तो ये, और अगर if false है तो ये. So it is only up to you. For example, the same program here where we are checking the eligibility for marriage, it can be done using if else also. Previously, we have also discussed a program to find the greatest of three numbers. That program can also be done using if else, but the simplest way is using AND operator. So it is only up to you how you can write a program. So in some programs, there is necessity for using nested if else, not in all programs. So it is up to you. How can you write that program? So in exam, it will not be mentioned to write a program using nested if or using AND. You can write it in any way, but you should know the working of nested if else also. Now in third, you are checking if condition. If it is true, then if block is executed. नहीं है तो elif में check किया, अगर ये condition true है तो ये block execute होगा, नहीं है तो else block execute होगा. Now one correction is there. Here it will be condition 2 and here it will be condition 3. Now see, here if condition is checked, if it is true then if block is executed, if it is false तो else elif पे आया. अगर ये condition true है तो ये if condition check होगी, अगर true है तो ये part execute होगा और अगर false है तो ये part, और अगर ये भी false है then else part is executed. So these are the different forms in which if else nested if else statement can be written or used. So let's discuss the example. The first is, write a program to find the greatest of three numbers using nested if else. Now you have to find the greatest of three numbers using nested if else. Now let's recall quickly what you have done. First of all, take input of three numbers. Int input, enter first number. B equal to int input, enter second number. C equal to int input, enter third number. Is that clear? Now previously we have done this program like this. If A greater than B and A greater than C, this is the simplest. Here print A is greatest. I am just recalling it. L if B greater than A and B greater than C. It means if both the conditions are true, it means B is greatest. And if both the conditions are false, it means C is greatest. This is the simplest way of writing this program. But here we have to find the greatest of three numbers using nested if else. So how will we do it? First of all, give outer condition. If A greater than B, then check if A greater than C also. Sorry, C also. If A greater than B, then check if A greater than C also. If this condition is also true and this is also true, then print A is greatest. Else, now suppose A is greater than B, A B से बड़ा है लेकिन A C से बड़ा नहीं है. A B से बड़ा है लेकिन A C से बड़ा नहीं है. देखिए यहाँ पे लिखिए A is greater than B लेकिन A C से बड़ा नहीं है. इसका मतलब C A से बड़ा है. इट मीन्स इसको अगर हम फॉल्स करें तो ये हो जाएगा C is greater than A. अब इन दोनों को कंबाइन करो. C is greater than A and A is greater than B. तो यानी सबसे बड़ा कौन सा है? C. So else print C is greatest. थोड़ा सा टिपिकल है ये. देखिए A greater than B ट्रू है और A greater than C false है. तो A greater than C false का मतलब हो गया कि C A से बड़ा है. अब इन दोनों को कंबाइन करिए. इसका मतलब C A से बड़ा है और A B से बड़ा है. तो सबसे बड़ा कौन सा हो गया? C. अब सपोज A greater than B ही गलत है. सपोज A greater than B is false. ये false है. This is false. False का मतलब हो गया कि B is greater than A. False means B is greater than A. तो हम यहाँ पे elif में चेक कर लें. Elif if B is greater than C also. If it is, then print B is greatest. Okay. अब देखिए यहाँ पे A greater than B अगर false है तो false का मतलब हो गया B A से बड़ा है और अगर ये true है तो it means B is greater than C. So B is greater than C and B is greater than A also. It means B is greatest. Clear? And if both the condition are false, A B से बड़ा नहीं है, B C से बड़ा नहीं है, it means C is greatest. So this is typical way of writing the same program which earlier you have written using AND operator. So this is nested if else. Here I am using nested if else. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमने आउटर कंडीशन चेक करी, क्या ए बी से बड़ा है, फिर अंदर चेक किया क्या ए सी से भी बड़ा है, अगर ये दोनों ट्रू है इट मींस ए बड़ा है, अगर ए बी से बड़ा है लेकिन ए सी से नहीं है इसका मतलब सी बड़ा है, अगर ए बी से बड़ा नहीं है इसका मतलब बी ए से बड़ा है, तो चेक कर ले क्या बी सी से भी बड़ा है इट मींस बी है, और अगर ये दोनों फॉल्स हैं इसका मतलब सी बड़ा है. नाउ इफ यू रन द प्रोग्राम यू विल गेट द करेक्ट आउटपुट. नाउ देयर आर थ्री पॉसिबल इनपुट्स. फर्स्ट नंबर 12, 23, 45. See, C is greatest. Now run the program second time. First number is 45, 34, 12. A is greatest. Now run the program 12, 34, 30, 32. Now B is greatest. So it is working for all the possible inputs. Okay? Is that clear? So what you have to do, you should try that this program where in case of eligible for marriage or not using nested if else. Now this is the program to check whether a given year is leap year or not. Now what is leap year? Now most of you will tell, sir, if number is divisible by 4 it is leap year. No, this is not the only logic. This is one of the logic. So there are several conditions. So such type of program can be done easily using nested if else. So such type of program you can do using nested if else to check whether given year is leap year or not. Okay, so let's do this program. Now year equal to int input enter year in 4 digits. Now here I have taken input of year in 4 digits. Now the first condition is if year mod 4 equal to 0, then check if year mod 100 equal to 0, and then check if year mod 400 equal to 0. One condition is this, अगर नंबर 4 से भी है डिविजिबल, 100 से भी है और 400 से भी है, इट मीन्स इट इज ए लीप ईयर. ये 400 से इसलिए करते हैं कि सेंचुरी ईयर्स चेक करने के लिए. इट इज ए लीप ईयर. नाउ सपोज ये इनर कंडीशन फॉल्स है, 4 और 100 से है लेकिन 400 से नहीं है, इट मीन्स एल्स प्रिंट नॉट ए लीप ईयर. सॉरी, प्रिंट नॉट ए लीप ईयर. इट मीन्स 4 से है, 100 से है, 400 से, इट मीन्स ये लीप ईयर है. लेकिन अगर मान लीजिए 400 से है लेकिन 400 से नहीं है, इट मीन्स ये लीप ईयर नहीं है. अब मान लीजिए ये 4 से है लेकिन 100 से नहीं है, सो नाउ दिस एल्स, ये एल्स इज इफ का है, एल्स प्रिंट इट इज ए लीप ईयर. सो मेनी कंडीशंस आर देयर. तो पहली कंडीशन क्या है, अगर कोई भी ईयर 4 से भी डिविजिबल है, 100 से भी और 400 से भी है. हियर आई एम यूजिंग नेस्टेड इफ एल्स. आउटर कंडीशन ये रही आउटर मोस्ट, फिर ये उसके इनर कंडीशन, ये उसकी इनर कंडीशन. तो अगर ये तीनों ट्रू है इट मींस लीप ईयर है. लेकिन मान लीजिए 4 और 100 से लेकिन 400 से नहीं है, तो ये लीप ईयर नहीं है. अब सपोज ये 4 से लेकिन 100 से नहीं है, इट मींस ये लीप ईयर है. और एल्स अगर 4 से ही नहीं है then print not a leap year. Now run this program. Now suppose 2020, it is a leap year. There are 29 days in this year. So 2020 is a leap year. Again run the program. Now 2018, not a leap year. Now check century years. 2000, it is a leap year. Now 1900, again run the program. This is the output window. 1900. Now 1900 is modulus by 4 or not? 4 4 ja 16. 4 7 ja 28. 4 5. Yes, it is. It is mod by 100 also. It is mod by 400 also. Is it mod by 400 also? Now see, it is not a leap year. In 1900, there were only 28 days in the month of Feb. So this leap year program you can do using nested if else. If it is divisible by 400 and then 400, it is leap year. If it is divisible by 400, 4 and 100 but not by 400, it is not a leap year. If it is not divisible by 100 but divisible by 4, it is a leap year. And if it is not divisible by 4, it is not a leap year. So you can write this program. First of all, take input of year. Then if year mod 4, now here I am using bracket. You can use bracket or you cannot. Okay, or you can may use brackets or you may not. Okay, no problem with that. Okay, first condition is clear. Now suppose year mod 400 is false. Suppose this is false. It is not a leap year. Now suppose this is false, but this is true. Now suppose this condition is false, is not a leap year. So it is very confusing. So you will practice when 2, 3, 4 times you will understood this program. So it is very confusing program, but this is the actual logic. If you divide only by 4, it will be, for example, 1900 is not a leap year even though it is divisible by 4 and 100 but not by 400. So 400 we used to check century years. Okay. Now what is Python character set? Now there are two types of coding techniques and coding techniques, ASCII and Unicode. ASCII is the old technique and Unicode is the latest. ASCII, you all know the full form? American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So it is basically a 7-bit code to identify the characters in a programming language. So for example, C or C++, they use ASCII code. But languages like Java, they uses Unicode. And Python, you make use of both ASCII and Unicode characters. So when I say character in Python, so character in Python means it can be, now see, draw this chart. There are 3 columns: serial number, characters and what are is ASCII range. This ASCII range आपको पता होनी चाहिए, ये प्रोग्रामिंग के काम आएगा. तो क्या होता है कि सपोज if user has written, Suppose the user has written 10. Now this 10 will be converted to binary form. ये आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, 2 से mod करते हैं, ये binary form में convert हो गया. Now suppose user has written capital A. Now capital A कैसे binary form में convert होगा? तो capital A की numeric value होती है 65. This is known as ASCII value. और 65 को जब आप convert करोगे तो it will 1 followed by 5 0 then 1. तो जितने भी ये अल्फाबेट्स हैं, सिंबल्स हैं, डिजिट्स हैं, ये सब पाइथन में कैरेक्टर्स कहलाते हैं. सी कैरेक्टर्स में क्या क्या आ जाता है? कैरेक्टर मतलब सिर्फ अल्फाबेट नहीं होता है. कैपिटल लेटर्स मींस अपर केस लेटर्स हो सकते हो. इनकी एसकाई वैल्यू आपको याद होनी चाहिए. इन एग्जाम ये वैल्यूज नहीं दी जाएंगी तो आपको पता होना चाहिए, ये प्रोग्रामिंग में काम आएगी. सेकेंड, स्मॉल ए टू जेड की एसकाई वैल्यू होती है 97 to 122. Digits 0 to 9, their ASCII value is from 48 to 57. And then special symbols such as dollar, hash, percent, at the rate, exclamation, space, tab, etc. These special symbols don't have any definite range of ASCII value. जैसे ये definite range है 65 to 90, इसकी definite range है 97 to 122. तो बीच के जितने भी आपकी स्पेसेस ये खाली हैं, ये सब स्पेशल सिंबल्स ने ऑक्यूपाई कर रखी है. अब आपके इसी पे एक प्रोग्राम आ जाता है. एग्जांपल, सपोज राइट ए प्रोग्राम टू इनपुट एनी कैरेक्टर. नाउ आई एम आस्किंग एनी कैरेक्टर. एनी कैरेक्टर मींस इट कैन बी अपर केस, इट कैन बी लोअर केस, इट कैन बी डिजिट और इट कैन बी सिंबल. चेक वेदर इट इज लोअर केस. तो आप यूजर से एक कैरेक्टर इनपुट मांगोगे एंड योर प्रोग्राम विल चेक and print whether it is lowercase letter, whether it is uppercase letter or it is a digit. Okay, so how will you write? This is the program. Now x equal to input, enter any character. अब यहां पे कैरेक्टर इनपुट ले रहे हैं तो इंट या फ्लोट यूज नहीं किया क्योंकि स्ट्रिंग फॉर्म में. अब आपको चेक करके बताना है कि क्या ये लोअर केस है, डिजिट है, सिंबल है. तो मैं एक तरीका करके दिखा रहा हूं. इफ x greater than equal to capital A and x less than equal to capital Z. Are you getting? Less than equal to capital Z. अगर कैपिटल A से कैपिटल Z के बीच है, it means it is upper case letter. Now second condition, if x greater than equal to small a and x less than equal to small z, it is print lower case letter. elif. Now if x is greater than equal to 0 and x is less than equal to 9, print digit. And if all the conditions are false, means if it is neither an uppercase letter nor a lowercase letter nor a digit, it means it is a symbol. So very easy. रेंज चेकिंग याद है जो अभी डिस्कस की थी. अगर ये कैपिटल ए से जेड के बीच है, इट मींस यहाँ पे इक्वल टू लगाइएगा, ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू or less than equal to. So if x, the value of x is between capital A to capital Z, it means it is uppercase letter, print uppercase letter. If the value of x is between lower a to lower z, then it is print lowercase letter. If it is between 0 and 9, print digit. Now see, a, z, small z, 0, 9, these values, these are the values. These values should be written within single or double quotes. Okay. And if all these conditions are false, it means it is a symbol. Now run this program. Enter any character. Suppose I have written small q, lowercase letter. Again run the program. Enter any character, capital A, uppercase letter. again run the program, 7 digit, again run the program. Now give dollar symbol. Now what you have to do, I am giving one program homework. Now you have to make use of ASCII values to do the same program. Here I have given you the ASCII values. Now you have to make use of the ASCII values to write the same program. So today's homework is write a program to input any character and check whether it is a lowercase letter or an uppercase letter or a digit or a symbol. Hint, use ASCII values of characters. Okay, try it. Then second is write a program to take two numbers. To take two numbers means to input two numbers and check that the first number is fully divisible by second number or not. Very easy program. In third, you have to input marks in 5 subjects. For example, physics, chemistry, maths, English, and your fifth subject. It can be IP or CS. So calculate total marks, percentage marks, and division you have to calculate. Now the criteria given is percentage marks. If it is between 60 and 100, it means it is first division. If greater than equal to 45 but less than 60, second division. If it is greater than equal to 33 but less than 45, then third division. And if the percentage marks are below 33, then fail. This is the criteria of CBSE only. So these three programs you have to do in your homework on your own. So again I am telling you, don't try to do these programs directly on the computer. First, prepare the logic, do the program in rough copy and then practice on computer if you have computer. If not, then don't worry. कॉपी पे लिख के प्रैक्टिस करनी है और फिर चेक करना है कि एक बार में सही है या नहीं. Okay, so that's all for today. The next video lecture will be on iterative statements. तीसरा प्रोग्रामिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट जो हमने बताया था, इट वाज इटरेटिव स्टेटमेंट है. आपको याद होगा, सपोज यू वांट टू प्रिंट हेलो 100 टाइम्स, तो प्रिंट हेलो 100 टाइम्स नहीं लिखना है, प्रिंट हेलो एक बार लिखना है और वो एग्जीक्यूट कितनी बार हो, 100 टाइम्स. सो दिस इज इटरेटिव स्टेटमेंट. और यहीं से कीप दिस इन माइंड, द टफ प्रोग्रामिंग, द कॉम्प्लेक्स पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोग्रामिंग विल स्टार्ट. So I will recommend you all, before studying this topic iterative statement, your previous topics must be cleared. It means the logic, syntax of each and every topic prior to this topic video tutorial 9 should be entirely, the concept should be clear. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Take care and goodbye.